Okay, in this video series, I'm going to discuss about vector analysis. So in this vector analysis video series, we'll be discussing about what are the vectors and what is a dot product. Likewise, we are going to study about vectors. So in this first video, I'm going to discuss about product of two vectors. So when it comes to product of two vectors, we have two products. Actually, one is a scalar product and other one is the vector product, or you can say vector product as a, you can call the vector product as a cross product. So we are going to first look at the scalar product, or you can say that that scalar product is can be called as dot product. So sometimes people refer scalar product as the dot product. So if you have two vectors, let's say you have two vectors like A and B. So these are angled at an theta degree. So let's say this is A vector and this is B vector. So the dot product between A and B vectors is defined as A dot B is equals to magnitude of A, magnitude of B, and the cosine theta. That theta is the angle between these two vectors. So this is the scalar product, the definition of the scalar product, or you can call it as a dot product. So now if you have an A vector like 2i plus 3j 2k hat, and you have a vector like B vector I hat 2j hat 3k hat. So I'm going to find the dot product between these two vectors. Let's say that the angle between these two vectors is equals to theta is equals to 60 degrees. So we are going to find the A dot B, that is the scalar product between these two vectors. So the magnitude of A is equals 2 squared times 3 squared times 2 squared, the square root of that 2 squared plus 3 squared plus 2 squared. So this is the magnitude of A. So now we are going to find the magnitude of B. So that is equals square root of 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 3 squared. So now the cosine theta is equals to 60. So we have cosine 60. So if you have drawn the diagram of these two vectors, so this is what it's going to be look like. So this is the A vector and this is the B vector, and the angle between these two vectors are 60 degrees. So right now we have a expression for the A dot B. So now we have the magnitude of A and we have the magnitude of B, and we have that cosine 60. So I'm going to find the value for this scalar product. So right now we have 2 squared is equals 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8, and 8 plus 9 is 17. So this is 7 square root of 17, and this is equals 1 plus 4 plus 9, that is 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 plus 9 is 14. So you have my square root of 17 and square root of 14, and cosine 60 is equals 1 over 2. So right now we have minus 17 times minus 14 divided by 2 as here. So as here scalar product. that is the value of the scalar product actually. So now if you have a dot b, so this is going to be a scalar. That means this has a magnitude, but scalar doesn't have a direction. So when you take the scalar product between two vectors, that means you have a scalar. So scalar has no direction, so that means it only has a magnitude. So what does it mean? That actually when you have a scalar, we are not considering about direction. So that means you can write this is equals to b dot a. So these two have the same meaning. If you take a dot b is always equals to b dot a, because these two are scalars. When you have a dot product, so you will get, when you have a dot product between two vectors, you will get a scalar. So that means if you have a dot b, so you can write b dot a. There is no problem in writing that. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the second vector product. So that is a product of two vectors. That is so the second one is the vector product. So that can be called as cross product. Sometimes people refer to this as cross product. So you can call it as a cross product as well. So what we are going to find is that this expression, so a cross b, so we call this a cross b. Or sometimes in some books they have a cross b like this. It is also equal. So if you struggle to write in this way, so you can write this format as well. Okay, let's say that we have two vectors a and b. So the angle between these two vectors are theta. So right now I am going to find a normal vector which is perpendicular to both of these vectors. So that is equals, let's say that the normal vector, that is the perpendicular vector, is n hat. So this n hat vector is perpendicular to both a, so this is perpendicular to a, and this is also perpendicular to b. That means that n hat, when you have this n hat vector, so this n hat vector and the b hat vector is perpendicular to so this n hat vector and b vector is perpendicular. So this n hat vector and a vector is perpendicular, which means the angle between n hat vector and b vector is 90 degrees, and n hat vector and the a vector is at an 90 degree angle. Okay, now I'm going to write the definition for the a cross b. So these are my two vectors. These are my two vectors, a and b. So when you find the cross product, you have to find the a cross b. This is the actually a cross b. This is the cross product. So now that according to the definition, you will have a cross, so the magnitude of a, so b cross magnitude, that means the magnitude of b vector. This is magnitude of the a vector. Right now you will have sine theta times n cross vector. So this is the perpendicular vector. So that means this is a unit vector actually. What does it mean? That unit vector. So what is a unit vector? Actually, when you have the magnitude of this vector, it is always equals to 1. So that is why we call this as a unit vector. So right now, this is the definition for the unit. This is the definition for the cross product. When you have when you have to find the cross product between two vectors, you will have to find the magnitude of A and magnitude of B and the angle between these two vectors. So you have to always find the normal vector for the two vectors. That means that you will have to find a vector which is perpendicular to both A and B. Okay, now if we consider about A cross B, so actually this can be written in terms of matrix format. So you will have, let's say that you have a vector A like I cross I hat 2j hat times 3k hat, and you have a B vector like 2i hat 3j hat and 2k hat. So now you have ij I j k. Now you're going to write the coefficients of I j k according to the A vector. So this is equals 1, the coefficient, and j 2, and for the k vector that is the coefficient is equals to 3. So this is we wrote this for the A vector, and we are going to write this for the B vector as well. So we are going to find the coefficients of this B vector that is equals 2, because we have 2i, and we have 3j hat, that means 3 and 2. So now we are going to find the determinant of this matrix, and we have to find the determinant of this matrix I times you have 2 times 2 minus 3 times 3, that means 4 minus 9 minus I'm not going to talk about the knowledge of the matrix, so you will have to have that matrix knowledge in order to find the determinant of this matrix. So let's say that this is plus and this is minus, this is plus, so this is all about matrix knowledge. So you have to have that matrix knowledge with you. So this is minus j hat, and so you will have to have 1 times 2 and minus 3 times 2, so that means 2 minus 6 and plus k hat time, that means 1 times 3 minus 2 times 2, that means 3 minus 4. So you will have I hat minus 5 and minus j hat minus 4 and plus k hat minus 1. So you have minus 5i hat plus 4j hat and minus k hat. So what does it mean actually? So you have a cross product between A and B. So when you have this when you find the value of this cross product, you will get a vector. So this is a vector actually. So you will have a vector when you find a cross product between two vectors. So what does it mean? That if you are finding a cross product between two vectors, you are always getting another vector. Let's say this vector is C. So you know that from the basic knowledge that you know that this vector has a magnitude as well as a direction. So that means if you consider A cross B, that is not equals to B cross A. This have totally different meanings. So that means if you have A cross B, so you can write this as minus B cross A. So you have to remember these things. Because why we are writing this is because when we are finding the cross product between two vectors, we are getting another vector. So that is why we have to write A cross B is equals minus B cross A. Like previously we wrote for the scalar product A cross A dot B is equals B dot A, because these are we are always getting a scalar for the dot product. So we are not considering about the direction when we talk about scalars. So I hope you understand this clearly. So in the next video I'm going to do the vector algebra. So thank you very much.